I was alone. There was nobody here on campus yet. I came at about 7:30 in the morning. I was walking by one of the gates here in our campus by our sanctuary, and I noticed the door was open. And I didn't think too much of it. The wind sometimes will blow it open. It's a very weak door. But I suddenly felt as if God was trying to tell me to be cautious and tell me to watch out from where I was at. And I felt God clearly tell me to go back where I have my backpack stored and pick up some mace that I carry with me sometimes. I didn't really want to do it. I never really carry my mace. I don't really have a reason to, but I felt that God was telling me to go and get it. So I grabbed it. I came to the gate, and then I felt God tell me to start to look into the gate, go into that area, the nursery. So I opened it, went in with a lot of caution. I felt God was telling me to be cautious, and as I walked over there, I felt led to one of the playhouses that the youth can play in and the kids can play in. And sure enough, I saw a homeless guy. I'd never seen him before. He was different from the usual people that I encountered, and he was sleeping in the playhouse. And I started to feel a lot of frustration come over me the past few months. We've had a lot of homeless people cause problems and just vandalize and do all kinds of crazy stuff on campus. And I felt it in me to almost like kick him awake and be like, hey man, get out of here. I'm sick of you guys coming over here vandalizing. This is God's house. And I was just getting really frustrated. But I felt God clearly tell me to stop, just walk away slowly and call the police. And I knew it was God because I was arguing, and I was like, I don't want to call the police. I want to just wake him up myself. I felt God clearly tell me, call the police. You don't need to handle this. So I did. And when they arrived, we did everything by the book, pulled him out, asked if they could see his hands, patted him down, and they had arrested him. I felt bad in my heart because I thought, I just want them to scare him, make sure he doesn't come back. Police officer pulled me aside and said, I'm really glad you called us and that you didn't handle this yourself. And I said, why is that? And she said, turns out this guy had 2 warrants on him. He was on probation, had drugs and a big knife on him. And it was at that moment I felt like God was telling me, this is why you need to hear my voice in every situation. And I was so sure of handling it on my own. I was so sure that if I was just, if I would just handle it my own way, that it would go fine. I was frustrated, ready to be angry at him, and that could have been my last day. That could have been a very different turnout. I could have got stabbed that day. My encouragement to you guys would be this. The next time you find yourself in a situation where you're not really sure what to do, don't ever just act on your own instincts, and don't ever just go based on your feelings. But in every situation, whether it seems dangerous or not, always be listening for God's voice and always be praying for the Holy Spirit to fill your mind with His voice and His thoughts.